WGCI'S, your music, your station. It is that time you've all been waiting for. It is the Ballistic One Night More, and I'm here with...
Your girl, Slick Mick, the ruler. What's going on, everybody?
And we have teamed up to bring you an exclusive interview with a radio legend we have in the building right now. You may have know her from the Midday Party on 107.5 WGCI on middays. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Frankie Robinson, the Windy City Underground. Round of applause.
I feel so honored. You said a radio legend.
Now we don't use that word freely around here. Okay, so
you feel honored. Thank you, I do. Trust me. Legend in radio synonymously, that's awesome for a radio personality.
All right, so the way we do things here, we like to tell, almost tell a story, go through, how you call it, day in the life, if you will, sort of. So if you don't mind, we'd like to start at the beginning. Is that okay?
Go right ahead.
All right, so we want to know, where were you born? Where did you grow up?
South side of Chicago.
All right, South Side, stand up.
Chatham. I was a Chatham girl. I grew up off of 8030 King Drive.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So what were some of your influences? Who were some of your influences?
In radio?
Yeah, well, period, in life.
My parents are a big influence to me. My brother, a big influence. Radio, I would have to say, Courtney Hicks, the baby girl. First Lady was a big influence. Doug Banks was a big influence. Yeah. Irene Mojica, she was a big influence. Even after I started radio, I kind of latched on to certain people for certain things. Wanda Wells, who is that's a legend in radio, she was very influential and a lot going on in my career when I first started at GCI. Basically put me over her knee and gave me the business.
Yeah, sometimes you need that.
Oh, absolutely. It's needed. Yeah, you can never learn too much. And I think it's great when, especially women, we have a reputation of being kind of catty with each other. Mm-hmm. When you welcome with open arms from the start, Tifa welcomed me with open arms, Beyonce Fox. It was I had a lot of love. I never have had the issue of, not getting along with my coworkers for the most part. You got a couple out the group, but I have a great rapport with all my radio comrades, and I love everybody that I work with and that I've worked. Well, not everybody, but I love the majority of the people that I've worked with.
All right, so I've heard this about you, and I want you to sort of set the record straight about this. Now, is it true that you...
No, I do not strip, steal.
Okay.
No. Just
okay, I'm glad you
that wasn't actually where we were going to go, but... Is it true that Wheel of Fortune actually helped start your career? Is that correct?
It did. Well, I went to school for radio, and what happened was I was working... I'm a firm believer of positioning, and that's with everything. I just think that you are supposed to put yourself in certain positions that make you accessible to success. Yeah. Like, if I'm a singer and I know Beyonce is coming to town, I'm gonna try and figure out where Beyonce is so that I can sing for her. Okay. That's the type of person I am. So Wheel of Fortune, I actually was a receptionist down at ABC Radio at the time, and I was working part-time for Radio Disney, and they laid me off. And when they laid me off, I'm a mom. I had a kid at the time, a husband. I was struggling, couldn't figure out what to do. I got a invitation from the Wheel of Fortune. Actually, while I was still working there, I got two. The first one I was working there, I felt like it was a conflict of interest, so I didn't, act on it. The second one, they had just laid me off, so I'm thinking, you ain't got no job, Craig, you ain't got nothing to do, what do you have to lose?
Invitation?
It was in my email. I used to play Wheel of Fortune while I was supposed to be receptionist, but I was doing both. Yeah, I ended up getting the invitation. I went down to Hotel Monaco and auditioned. They liked me, told me that if I was going to be on the show, they'd send me a letter, and I'd get the letter within so many days, and I didn't get the letter until the very last day. Ended up going on the show maybe less than a month later. I won $5,000 in 2 trips. One of the trips was to Bermuda, and the other one was to Aspen, Colorado. Great trips, both of them. I didn't want to go to Aspen because I figured, It's cold, you know, it's black folks. You don't want to go nowhere where there's snow. But it was one of the best trips. I met Mike Epps, Steele Harper, a bunch of great people in Aspen. But when I went to Bermuda, I actually saw who was then the program director, Elroy Smith for WGCI, in the hotel lobby that I was at. I was coming from dinner. I met a young lady on the plane on the way over. I took my mom. She had never been out the country, and we met a young lady from Bermuda. She took my mom and I out to dinner. And when we got back to the hotel, I saw Elroy in the lobby. And I wouldn't say I'm religious, but I'm spiritual, and I know when I'm a big believer in God, and I know when He puts certain things in front of me. Yeah, you have to realize when you have certain things displayed in front of you, and I saw that as an opportunity for the taking. So I walked over to him and was like, "You don't know me," and I know he thought I was nuts. At the time, I actually had on the cast too. I had broke my ankle, and I drugged that foot over there and was like, "You don't know me, but I know you." And I'm a graduate, recent graduate in radio. I love radio. I'm passionate. I want to do it. I just need somebody to believe in me. If you believe in me, I won't let you down. And he was standing there at the time talking to the program director for the radio station out in Bermuda. And they both looked at me like, I was like, I know they think I'm crazy. Well, he gave me his card. He was like, "There's something about you. I believe in you. You have a star quality. I don't know what it is, but call me when you get back." And boy, did I call. I called every day. He didn't answer. Finally, maybe a week later, he sent me an email requesting an air check demo. And I sent it to him, and he sent me a list this long with everything I needed to fix. And the list started dwindling. You know, the more air checks I did, of course, the list got smaller and smaller. But in the meantime, I was still unemployed. So I went and found myself a job with Clear Channel Total Traffic. Wasn't paying much, but I had decided that I wasn't going to go into any other field but what I had went $40,000 in debt for. And had I known that, I probably would have went to the Illinois media school. But I took that job, and I was on my way down there for my first day of work. And he called me and was like, "I want you to come sit in on a jock meeting." And I'm like, "I can't, because I'm on my way to work. You know, I got a job, sir." And he was like, "Really, where you working at?" And I told him, Clear Channel, Total Traffic. He was like, "What's the address?" So I gave him the address, and he chuckled. And he was like, I was on the train. Actually, I was on the L coming downtown. And he was like, "You'll probably be on 27th floor. When you get done, come up to 28th. I'll tell Dorothy to make sure you come upstairs to the 28th floor." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Young lady." And if you know Elroy Smith, you know how he talks. "Young lady, Clear Channel and WGCI are the same entity. You're in the same building." I was so just floored. You know, again, here it is, another opportunity presenting itself to me, so I had to take it. So I went to the jock meeting. I think I did that job. I've been doing that job for about a month, and he called me back in his office, gave me a traffic script. I read it, and he told me, "You sound great. You're going to be doing traffic on Tony Schofield's show from 3:30 to 6:30. You're not going to get paid a penny, but the experience will be great for you." So at that point, I realized what this man is doing. He is grooming me. He is taking his time, which he did not have to do. You know, he didn't have to do that for me. There's a million other radio personalities that wanted that job. And for me to be fresh out of college, and this is where I'm starting, it was amazing. It was nothing short of a blessing. So he was like, "The next thing we got to do is we got to get you a name. You know, we got to get you a name." And he gave me a name, and you know, I've been Frankie ever since. And it's cool because I just feel like everything was in divine order, because Frank was my grandfather's name, and my last name is Robinson. So I just took, you know, he threw out Diamond Night, and I'm like, that's a stripper name. It don't have nothing to do with me, like, no more. Like, I'm cool. And he gave me Frankie, and I took it, you know, and I love it. I love what I do. I wouldn't trade it for a world. You know, I can't see myself doing anything else but what I do. I love my job.
It definitely seems like you were set up to do radio.
Man, I was always the kid that talked a lot. You know, they, "Shut up, you talk too much." Now look,
Right.
you get paid for
Talking
it.
right.
All right. So, what was the biggest lesson that you learned in college when you were studying, of course?
You know, I think the most essential thing is for people to really utilize what's around them. I don't think I utilized a lot of things around me like I should have. And I think a lot of it had to do, too, because I was a mom, a wife. I was working a full-time job, 3 internships, going to school full-time. So a lot of times you so wrapped up in your own world, you don't even realize what's going on around you. You know, you just want to come in, do the best that you can, you know, get it done and leave. I would leave at 7 in the morning. I would come home, like one of my internships, I was interning for, oh my God, can't remember his name right now. Well-known DJ, been around for a long time. But his show would not be over until 2 in the morning. So my son at the time was young. I would leave my house at 7 in the morning for my full-time job. Sometimes when I would leave in the morning, well, the majority of the time I would leave in the morning, he'd be asleep. I come home at night, he'd sleep. So the only time I saw my son was on the weekends. I did that for 4 years. It was hard. You know, it was hard. But anything that you want really bad, you got to work hard for it, and it's worth it. It's so worth it. The rewards that I reap, my listeners, like a lot of people, I can't speak for other jobs, but I love my listeners. My listeners give me life, and this job alone does, because I've had some mornings, and you have your own personal issues, but when you come to work and you do radio, you gotta be happy. You gotta smile. You gotta, you can't be on there. Well, me and my boyfriend broke up last night. I got a cold. My head hurt. I got cramps. You can't do that. You have to be happy. You have to entertain your listeners. And a lot of times, you never know how much of an impact you make on these people until you run into your listeners. I have a listener right now, a guy named Corey. He's legally blind. He calls me once or twice a week, listens to me. I had a guy that's been following me since I first started at GCI. Left and went to Power 92. He called, and now I'm back at GCI, and he calls me. So like, it's I love it. I have a listener who is she's handicapped. She's in a wheelchair. I just did a event at the Black Women's Expo. I actually had a whole session, and she came, and it was just, it's amazing. It's like, I don't take anything for granted. I'm humble. You know what I mean? I had to work hard to get to where I'm at, and I know that God giveth and He taketh, and I give Him all the glory, and I thank Him because this has nothing. I got this much to play in what I'm doing. I just love what I do, and I'm me all the time.
Now, one of my favorite things you've ever done in your career is when you and Leon Rogers did Go Get a Radio. Now, I can remember me being in my mom's car just cracking up laughing at you guys. You guys, like, gelled so perfectly together. So, when did you first meet Leon? And is he as funny as he is on air?
Leon is funnier off the air to me, because on air you have limitations and certain things you just can't say. Off the air, you can say whatever. Leon Rogers is more like a brother to me at this point. We bonded so well when we were on the air together. It's crazy because for the first week, and I know this sounds crazy, but we actually dressed alike and didn't even realize it. Like, I had on camouflage pants, he had on camouflage, I had on a striped shirt, he had on a striped. Like, every day we literally came in looking alike almost. The energy between us, the connectivity between us, just how we flow together, we work together great. It was like being on the air with your older brother. You know what I'm saying? With your big brother that's not that much older than you. So it's relatable. Man, had a ball. That was, I will say, that was the best time in my radio career. I've been in radio, it'll be 10 years next year, and that was the best time in my career. I love Leon. And I knew Leon, but I didn't know Leon. But now we're like family. So
that's awesome. Nice. That's beautiful. So you recently celebrated your 1 year of being back on WGCI. Now, how's that been? How's the energy been like being back in that environment?
It's been great, man. I got a whole lot of love. Like I said, I love my listeners. They're so loyal. They followed me, when I left Power 92. They came over, they followed me. I love where I'm at GCI because I have a lot of freedom to do what I need to do creatively. I have a better platform as far as growth, in my opinion. And, you know, the coins is always nice. You know, the little coins. The coins don't hurt, baby. The coins do not hurt. You know, it was just a big blessing because I never wanted to leave. You know, but the powers that be, it's radio. You got to do what you got to do.
So I'm a radio host on Windy City Underground.
Okay.
And I want to know, how does it feel to be a woman in radio?
You know, I'm somewhat of a tomboy. I'm a little rough around the edges. Mm-hmm. I'm like man's best friend. So I can roll with the best of them.
Right.
I would just say as a woman, don't compromise. You know, don't feel like because you're a woman, you got to be a mouse. Mm-hmm. You know, you could be a lion, but there's a way to still be a lady and get what you need. I would say follow your own instincts. Don't listen to other people. Draw your own conclusions about people that you meet, things that you're going to encounter. Some people tell you, oh my God, that's so hard. Oh, wait till you do this and wait till you do that, and then you do it and it's not hard for you at all. Right. Or you meet that person and you're like, oh, I didn't have that experience with them. So, you know, I would just say stick to your guns. You got kids?
No.
Okay, well, that's half the battle right there because radio is time consuming. You know, like, I remember I did almost a 48-hour stretch before in radio, working on the air, getting off, hosting 2-3 gigs, getting on a plane, going to Philly for a music conference, then doing that, you know, like I was 24, almost 48 hours in with no sleep. So, you know, you work hard, but like I said, it pays off.
All right, let me just remind our listeners right now, we are live from WindyCityUnderground.com. Frankie Robinson from WGCI'S here. Now, what I want to know is, you've been in the business for a long time. What?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean like that.
You was on the board. You had Fred Flintstone running.
No, we're not going that far back. But in what ways has the business changed since you started?
Oh, big time. PPM changed everything. PPM. When I first started, PPM was not in the place, and it just switched everything. Then you got Spotify, you got all of the streaming that came along, and for a minute it was just like one big cluster. You know what? Because they were scrambling. They felt like it wasn't a need for radio personalities. It's not a need for jocks. Why we need jocks when people can go and listen to 3 hours of Kanye straight or whatever they want to hear?
Do you feel like the radio industry is kind of dying out since we do have all of these streaming like Pandora?
Absolutely not, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because as long as you have poor folks, you're gonna always have radio. I was a kid. My parents. I'm pretty sure that if I was a kid now, we wasn't on the floor, but I will say that I doubt if my mother would have been giving me money to stream and buy and do all this, so I would have been listening to the radio. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people just like radio, though. They like the interaction with the jock. They like the personalities. They love us. And how I know that is because I get so much love when I'm in the streets. I get love, and I'm always in the streets. I'm somewhere everywhere. So.
All right, so in this business, of course, you meet a lot of legends, people you have no idea you would have met previously. And one of the legends, of course, is the late Herb Kent. Do you have any memories of him you can share?
Absolutely. Herb Kent and I shared the same birthday.
Wow.
Herb Kent's birthday is on my birthday, and that's how Herb and I bonded. I also know Herb's daughter, Robin Kent, who is a phenomenal woman, who was a great daughter to her dad, and they were best friends. So Herb Kent, what y'all don't know, Herb Kent was funny as hell. And when I say could tell a story and actually put you there, like you were right there with him. Herb Kent was awesome. I think longevity, I heard somebody recently say something, and it kind of made me think, but then I thought about it. Somebody said he shouldn't have been on the radio that long. He should have moved out the way for younger people to come along. But he was there for younger people, in my opinion, to let you see that this can be done. It can be done. You don't have to just be on the air for 5 years and gone. And if you make a name for yourself and you create a brand for yourself, you'll be around for a long time. It's about how you handle yourself on the airwaves. And I think Herb was truly a cool gent. He was a gentleman. He was funny as hell, and he knew what he was doing with that mic.
All right, so obviously also in this business, you meet a lot of celebrities, powerful people. Do you have any best or worst celebrity interviews you can share?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Oh, boy.
But I will tell you this person that I interviewed, and I will tell you their name too. I interviewed Life Jennings, and I think that was the worst interview I ever had in my radio career.
Why?
Because he wasn't happy about the fact he had a rough ride coming in. I think his flight was delayed, and he was on a promo tour. Celebrities, singers, and artists, they don't get paid for promo. That's something that they have to do. Okay. You have to go out and push your single. Well, he was doing a show, and I think the show was like $1.07 or something like that to get in. It was a promo show. So he just wasn't happy, so he wasn't cooperative, and I had to let him know, like, this is my house and this is how I eat. I'm gonna get you in and out, but bro, don't do me like this. Like, come on, let's knock this out and get you up out of here. He wasn't very cooperative. I think the best interview that I've had thus far would have had to be with Snoop Dogg. Okay. Snoop Dogg stayed a good hour and a half, almost 2 hours after his interview was over.
Yeah, I was just vibing.
Kicking it. They hooked the Xbox up in the studio. Him and Leon was playing like it was popping. He gave us some treats. It was a wonderful interview.
Yeah, we're not going to decipher what those were right now.
Okay. So, you riding down Lakeshore. What you listening to, though?
Ooh, that was a great question. So right now, I'm pumping... I got the first Mercedes-Benz ever made, so I still got the 6 CD disc changer. Mm-hmm. So right now I'm pumping, and I can't stop listening to it. Fabulous Summertime Shootout Part 2. Yeah. I love Fab. I think he's underrated. I also got new Jeezy in there. I think it's dope. Old Jeezy is back. Meek Mill.
DC4?
Yeah, well, I put it in there. I listened to it once. So uneventful. I just not inspired whatsoever. It did nothing for me. I also have let's see what is happening there. I got Future's latest in there. Then I got like a mix CD, and then I always have some reggae around, so we'll dance hall.
Now, what concerts have you gone to? Over the years, like any memorable ones stick out?
I just went to one on my birthday, October 5th. Drake and Future were here. I went to that. But I'll tell y'all a quick funny story.
Uh-oh.
So we got invited to, we had a listening event with Jeezy the other night, and shortly thereafter, in the same location, we had a Halloween party with Empire, and the cast of Empire was there. And when I came, because I had left and went to go eat and came back, Taraji was in her section, Yaz was in his section, everybody was there. And so I walked over, and see, this is another thing I got to explain to y'all. You got to know when to talk to people and when not to talk to people. Don't put yourself in a position to get your feelings hurt. Not only that, just be considerate of people's space. You don't want to be pushy and annoying. You want somebody to be happy to see you. And I realized that at that time, Taraji was turned. She was enjoying herself. You know what I mean? She had her own little thing going on. She was partying, dancing. I said, I'm not going to ask her for a picture because I never met her. I said, I'll wait. So I went back over there and I tapped her assistant on the shoulder. And she said, she's not taking any pictures. And I said, well, I'm Frankie Robinson from WGCI. She said, hold on for a second. So she said something to Taraji and she moved out the way. Taraji was standing there with her arms wide open with a big old smile. I'm like, hey, because I'm real, hey girl, hey, friendly like that. And I hugged them. We took several pictures and talked for a few seconds and I jetted out. Well, the next morning I heard the morning show saying that she shaded their ass.
Oh, man.
Like, she didn't take a picture with Leon. She didn't take a picture with Kendra. I'm like, I didn't get that experience. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny, but yeah, big up to Raji, man. She was cool with me. I've hosted a lot of concerts too and done a lot of events. I think the biggest concert that I hosted, I would have to say WGCI'S Big Jam. It's pretty big. We had a lot of stars last year on the bill.
Oh, and this year's bill is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, this year's bill is crazy. We got Chris Brown. We got Trey Songz in his little chest. We got Young Thug in his little dress. We got Designer. We got Lil Yachty. We got Lil Herb and Bibby, and they're making history on stage in Chicago together for the first time. I think that's dope. I actually like Herb and Bibby. I think Bibby, with him stepping up and saying he's going back to school and giving his education, I think that's dope. So I like them. And I want to say this too about a lot of Chicago artists and Chicago rappers. We have to support each other. What you don't understand is that there's power in numbers. You can't pull somebody down and think you're going to rise to the top. Karma is for real. It don't work like that. You better off trying to hook up with the next person. Let's all get money together, and let's, period, in the city. Let's get some more money and put these guns down and pick up some paper. You know, nobody want to get money. They just want to shoot each other and kill each other, and it's so ridiculous because we have so much talent in this city. Like, I see it all day, every day, just bubbling over with talent. I was talking to Future, and Future was like, I don't understand how so many people in this city can rap, but all y'all want to do is kill each other. In Atlanta, we get together and make paper. Like, and I you know, it's embarrassing to a certain degree because it's the truth. We got talent on top of talent in this city, and it's crazy. You know, look who came from this city. You know, you got Common, Twista, Kanye, Dreezy, say what you want to say, Chief Keef, you know, whoever. You might not like them, but we got a lot of talent in this city, and everybody is not for everybody. So.
All right, so with everything you've done in your career, what goals have you set for yourself, both professionally and personally, moving forward?
I want to end up being a music director.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I love music. I grew up in a musical household. My dad listened to everything from Funkadelics to Tito Puente to Mongo Santeria. My mom listened to everything from the Isley Brothers to Barbra Streisand. My brother, older brother, had me listening to everything from Just Ice to Depeche Mode to The Cure to BDP. Like, I listened to John Coltrane when I was younger. I listened to Billie Holiday. You know, just on my own, I came from a different era. You know, we grew up in the 80s and the 90s where jazz was a big influence in the 90s with a lot of hip-hop. And I like real lyricists. You know what I'm saying? I can't listen to just anything. I can't. Like, maybe one song, yeah, I'll turn up with you real quick, but I can't listen to 8 songs of just anything. So.
All right, so Slick, we wanted to do something fun with her before she leaves us today.
Exactly. So I wanted to play a game. Let's do it. It's like whose line is it anyway, but it's lyrics.
All right, come on. Come on, put my skills to the test.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, let's do it.
And no pressure, but you have 10 seconds for yourself.
You got it. You think you got it?
I might have it, but you know, I'm gonna make my own rules. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I never ask for
The first
permission.
one
I always ask for
easy.
forgiveness.
I got my city doing front flips with every father, mayor, rapper jump ship.
Oh my God. Ooh, you got me on that one.
Can I give a hint?
Yeah.
He just had a festival in U.S. Cellular Field.
Oh, Chance.
Yeah, there we go.
Chance, man. Shouts out to Chance and his brother Taylor Bennett. They look like twins.
They do.
So proud of Chance, man.
Okay, you may get this one. I swear I stared, my niece my witness. The brother had it going on with something kind of wicked. Wicked, had to kick it. I'm not shy, so I asked for the digits.
Digits. Oh, God. I know that. That's Salt and Pepper.
Yep, you got it. Okay.
That's Salt and Pepper.
Okay. The next one is I Want a Real Love, Dark Skin, and Big Love.
J. Cole.
Okay.
I knew she was going to get that one.
I play that song so much.
This one might be a little hard, but you might do okay. You Always Was Committed, a poor single mother on welfare.
Tupac.
I told you everybody know Tupac, man.
Yeah, the greatest. One of the greatest. Him and Biggie.
All right. Unfortunately, our time has passed. You know, it was an honor for you to be here.
Thank you. It was an honor for you guys to have me. You're referring to me as a legend. That
Of course, we use that word seriously over here. You know, that's a word we don't just throw around. You know, we mean it over here. So before we go, why don't you tell the people out there how they can reach you?
Check me out. I'm on social networking. I have to be. Frank Raw 107 on Instagram, on the Snap. I need to get on the Snap more. Frankie Robinson on Facebook. Frank Raw 107 on Twitter. You can check out my show Monday through Friday, 10 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, 107.5 GCI, the midday party. And can I just say this real quick? Just want to say this real quick. I think, you know, with the state of where Chicago is right now, with our youth, I just implore, especially a lot of the older people, to take time with the young people, man. Listen to these people. You got to understand that you cannot judge a person until you walk into their shoes, walk in their shoes. Also, you have to understand that there's a lot of social ills in this city that are not being addressed. Poverty, lack of education. So when you don't have resources, crime is always going to be a factor. Until we band together as a city and we get tired of what's going on in this city and do something about it collectively, because it takes a village. You know, we're going to keep seeing what we're seeing. 17 people murdered last weekend. That's in 2 days. That's ridiculous. You know, and it makes my heart bleed. I'm a mom, you know, first, before I'm anything. Before I'm a radio personality, I'm human, I'm a mom. So I think that we all need to take the time. Don't turn up your nose at people. You don't understand where they come from. You know, we got situations where kids don't even have food to eat. So we need to look at that instead of looking at this person with their pants hanging down or the way they talk. Or take time. Don't judge people. It's not your place. And that's it, man. Go Cubs, baby. Go Cubs.
And before I forget, she will be at the Illinois Media School campus at 530 South State Street. You got 30 minutes to get there, so make sure you are there. All right, and Slick Mick, do you have anything to say? Promotion you want to do?
You can tune into my show, No Filter Radio, on Mondays from 3 to 4 on Windy City Underground. And follow me on Instagram, Slick Mick the Ruler. Follow me on Twitter at Slick Mick with 2 Ks.
Twitter! All right, since we're promoting shows, tune in to my show, The Ballistic Show, Wednesdays from 2 to 3 on this very station. Twitter is at Ike Ballistic, on Instagram, Ballistic Radio WCU. And Miss Robinson, you have an open invitation here. Come back anytime you want.
You got a great voice, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Like sports.
Oh, yes.
Doing sports radio?
I'm not, I'm not the biggest sports fan, but I wouldn't turn it down,
Bro, you should. That's a big market. You got a great voice for sports and talk radio. I think you'll be great at that.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. Thank you very much. All right. Frankie Robinson, ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll check you out next time. WGCI'S.com, your music, your station.